Welcome back to Timberborn and our new diamond playthrough. Sorry about the second pause there. I was thinking, which Timberborn am I doing? This will be the second time I've recorded this. Unfortunately, I got about 30 minutes or so, if not a bit longer, through it, and the game crashed. Very unusual I get a crash these days. It's been quite a while. And I was doing something. So I'll have to be careful not to be doing the same sort of thing. But we'll see what we can do. So anyway, we will be going back to our power grid. We're going to get that. Well, it's on its way as we can see, so that's perfectly fine. Because let's put it this way, I know a few things that I didn't know before, because obviously I'd been playing it and it decided to crash on me. There's a couple of little things that I want to do. Oh, don't do that, pig. Come on. This is going to be a nightmare. There we go. I always try to own up, so it's not me this time. I'm not like, oh, well, I want to redo that because, you know, that didn't go too well or whatever. You know, that's not what I do. I roll with the punches, as we say. And unfortunately, though, I couldn't do anything with that because, like I said, it crashed. So I had to just carry on. So we're going to get this in. I want to show you this, even though that I know it's something that's whatever. We're really going to want. Let's start this. Let's start the ball rolling as we mean to go on with this, because we're waiting for them to wake up. We've got enough explosives and things. I'm going to get rid of these two, and we're gonna need. Well, we do need. Not we're going to need. We need a huge amount of planks, so we need to get this going. Are they going to pick most of that? I think we'll pick that up. Let's just pause that while they do the thing and get rid of them. We could do with all the planks from this as well. I don't think we'll need the two. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make. I feel as if if I want to say I'm going to make again. I'm going to make. We're going to make some zip lines because it's going to make it a little easier for them to get up. Now I know it's a bit late. It's like a bit late in the play, but it's important to do. We'll. I don't think I need them there, but I'm not too sure about how far that. It's not gonna. It's obviously not gonna come from here, so we're gonna have to. And then if I do, I think this will work. Oh, just over the mine. That'll do. Thank you very much. And then that to there. Then we want. I think we can put it here, but we can't get it. As you can see, it's just around that corner. So we can. It should be about here, I think. No, let's put this in first. And somebody asked recently about this. Why do I keep turning it around? And if you're not too sure, is this here? So the big end, if you like, is where the walk and the point. If we take that, because obviously it's not a point that way. It's always a point that there's always a point that's pointing in this. It's always in the center, which is the one that you want to say. This is where they're looking out at. And this is what they're going to walk on to build it, or here to build it, and then to build the next one. It doesn't matter too much if you had another one here. You know, you could have it any other way around. It doesn't matter. But it's if you don't like this, then this one, I could turn this one, and it would still build. But anyway, that was the reason why, and I was asked about it, and I replied to the guy on the YouTubes, my channel, the channel. That'll do. I don't really need. It doesn't need to be, you know, that accurate, but it just needs to be able to. Is that going to work? Ooh, 23. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to take it from here. I've got 10, so I'm going to have to enable this. I did actually think recently they actually changed the design of that because it just looks more. It looks about more industrial, you know, with all the paint and the thing taken off. But they might have done that actually a while ago, and I haven't actually seen it, to be honest. I'm going to take rid of this because this is going to get us some more planks and things, and we want to get all this as much as we can. We don't really need this anymore either, so we might as well, as long as I use the right button, would be a good idea. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. We don't need any of this. Now they can come down there and get all this, so it doesn't matter about it being on the floor. Like this here. So that's all cleaned up. Now remember, as I said, we're gonna sort this out. This area. I'm not even too sure when I'm going to take this area down, or you know, and open it up and then have this flat, and then we're going to build something. I haven't decided yet, but I know we're obviously we're into video 56 now, which is a lot more than what we would normally doing. But I just thought it was important, and I was really enjoying this. And some of the stuff we definitely going to take forward into our other place. So that's always pretty good. Do I need the metal? Yes, I do. Well, I might need the metal. In fact, I don't actually need it at this precise moment. They're not really wanting to pick... Oh, it's bad one, I don't care. I don't want that. I mean, we've got... I mean, if we look at this, we still... I don't think yet... Oh, I'm going to press the right button here. I don't think I've even... You know, we've got the wheat. We can see all this... Nicely doing its thing. I've even got carrots here, and I still have not planted all the carrots. I'm going down to the bottom, so I'm just noticing, I'm thinking, wait a minute, I haven't even sorted that out yet. There's the carrots. Can't even press the right button. That can be there. That's a part of it anyway, so I might as well do that. Oh, and that's part of it. So let's just get this going. Even though it's not going to make a difference, I do not have enough on here to be able to get all this. I actually need some more. I probably need another 2 in here, to be honest, to even help. If not even more. It's that much that I can't actually get it all at the time. We've got our sunflowers here, which is pretty good. Although I don't need this one. So I think I'll delete this one here. And we'll just plant the crops again, and we can do sunflower, and we can... I think we can do that one as well, and we'll do this one. Do we want this? No. Well, actually, strangely enough, I've not got the... I've not got a path built there. That should be better. But anyway, that's that one done. Potatoes. It's still not being fully done yet. Now, I don't understand why I've got the this here. Don't know what that was for, but it was for something. Probably to move these. Obviously, this is the mistake that I made by not increasing the size of it. Although in a roundabout way, it's actually worked not as bad. Because I don't think we'd have got that top one to be where it is, so we'd have had to have it a bit lower, so it wouldn't have been at the top. Let's see how the trees are doing. Now, really, we should be cutting these down, to be honest. Although we are cutting them down. But I think that's because, yeah, he could reach. But why don't we get him to reach? And why don't we start putting these back again? Once they're being put. Now, I've noticed that these weren't selecting. So we'll select... because these were built a while ago, and obviously probably I just had this and they were sorting things out. Anyway, right, so that's that sorted. I could have put this down without this dam, but then it would have shelled out all this water, even though it wasn't running, and then got rid of it all right down to there. So that's why I kept the dam. That's why I've done this little bit here. We are getting through this. I think at this precise moment, I'm going to just clean some of this up. Ooh, be careful. Can be a bit leery, this. Because I want them to concentrate on what I want them to concentrate on, and not something that I don't want them to, if you get what I mean. This is all in. This is in, and it's running. So the power grid, as I can show you here, actually works. Our power grid actually works. So we should theoretically be able to put all power grids over here, or how many we want, and then just... I'm trying to think what it's like. I was thinking like, dare I say it, the old Lego, but I don't think it is, but I may be wrong, you never know. The problem is here is this. If I put this over, it will build this, because it can, because obviously that, but then it can't build the other things. So we're going to need this to be done. But they're not playing ball, so we'll do this first. We'll tell them to do this first. Although we could do it one higher. And that's in a slight in green, because we want to make sure that... I think this is all in, actually. So that's okay. I desperately want to get our... this working, which will obviously... really make things a lot faster, but we basically... what's this? Treated, anyone care about treated? No, I don't think I do. We've got 180 of them. I know it's like, that's like they're a nightmare to do, but... I've got 300 now. I'll turn that off. And then hopefully we'll have it all in as we'll have it in. I'll put this up to full. I'm going to put this down to there. That can be as it is. And then obviously we'll get, yeah, this is just slightly out, but it doesn't really matter. It's only here just to, because they're going to go from the industrial right through there, up there and round and straight in. So it should... Instead of having to walk all the way there, go up there, we should see this reduced. We should see the walking down here reduced a lot. You know. This is probably how I should have used them before, but... You know what to say, hindsight is a great thing. Planks. Why am I not getting enough planks, I wonder. Now I want to build these and get them really going. Now I could get rid of this lot as well if I really wanted to. This might not be the worst thing. How many gears have I got? I got 500. Why don't I just get rid of the gears as well? It's so important to get this going. And we're going to dump all this. This is a lot of... I mean, obviously I have got 3,500 in logs. That's probably to do with the cutting it down because I've selected the other stuff. So we might as well use that to our advantage. Because they're not really going to be using for anything else. In this player. But we want to get the planks. I prefer the planks over the metal. Because it's open and obviously it'll flow through. Now we've got this. Now you can see I've got this front here. I've had to lower this because obviously we want this as being the top. And we're lucky enough that it can walk over it. It's a pain when you're using it to go under the ground. Because obviously it lets the water in. But actually as this, it works out quite well. First time we've got something that works out quite well. I'll put this. I can't put obviously this because it's too large, but I can do this, and then they'll walk on there. Now I probably didn't actually need this one to be honest, because it's not going to do anything. So that was a little bit. Oh, come on. And the reason why is I'm going to, because we could use this then. Oh, come on. I keep selecting all sorts of what I want. This here, there's 200 in that. Which our flank situation would go quite well getting all this back. The unfortunate thing is obviously they've got to go and take it back to a storage. And as we haven't got the zip, well, what we'll do is we'll use a lot of it. There's that one done. There's that one done. We haven't got this one done yet, but we'll put this up full. 10 gears are in. No planks are in. That's almost in. We'll use this. We'll use all this for the planks to build our zip line, so that'll make it a lot faster. I've already used I've already just carved up 100 logs already by adding all the rest of the paraphernalia to make planks. But I don't think it's going to be a problem. I mean, each one of them gives us 8. There's a good couple of hundred here. Plus, we've still got 3,000. Yeah, you know, even if I use a couple of thousand or 3,000 and there's only 400 left, by the time we want to reuse something again, it'll probably be all coming back anyway. If it ever goes, you know. Right, this has been done, so it makes sense. I could probably get rid of this one as well, actually. Thinking about it. Yeah, I think I could do that one as well. Although I'll only be able to pick them up. The reason why is because we're putting the things over, and they're metal anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That one. Oh. Yes, it is that. That one there. That one cannot be that one, so that has to be that one. And then once that's done, they'll walk and get this one and go from there. It's gonna absolutely decimate me blocks though. Well, it's only for this. It's only for this section. Any of the others, it doesn't really matter. I don't know how far I'm gonna go. I'm probably gonna have to take this out, even though it's almost built. So it makes sense to get rid of it. Once that's all emptied, I'll probably get rid of the this as well because it's not really doing anything. Well, it's a bit weird because it's got that on there, and it shouldn't actually have that on there. It's not actually doing anything. Yeah, there's not storage for the metal. I'll pause the metal. I'll pause this, and this they'll take this. Right. Let's. Too far from the district. What do you mean it's too far? Oh yes, I can't get in there, can I? See now, once they put this one in, you can actually use it as a path. So it does not. It doesn't. I think it's Lego. It's probably not Lego. I wouldn't say it's Meccano either. I used to have Meccano when I was a kid. There we go. See, now this is running, so you could actually build a power grid. Well, I'm calling it a power grid. You could call it a power grid, a power block, or whatever you want to call it. You know, and it should put itself together quite well. In fact, actually, I think I'm going to get rid of this as well. That's a nice bit of planks there, which can be picked up by the logs. They'll use the logs and the planks. Plank situation is chock-a-block full actually, which isn't really what I wanted. This was logs. I think it's going to go down now. I don't think it's going to be... I'm going to use them anyway, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a... To build a storage, to build that, and then build that on top is... Ah, I built it. I've got it. There we go. That one. And then we're going to do this one. We're going to do it the same. And the won't build these without building the thing on top anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I want to be really careful with this, because this is where it... I basically know this was working because I did it in the video that crashed. And I put 4 or 5 on here to show that we could power them all. And the blooming thing, when it built the first 2, after that it crashed. So there's a bug in Timberborn somewhere. Very unusual. It's been a quite substantial amount of time since I had any crashes in the Timberborn. It's probably from the Unity engine, really. Well, it doesn't really have to be, I suppose. Let's not dish the Unity engine too much. So I have used it in the past myself. There's a lot of things that are frustrating with it, but they emphasise far too much on 3D, and you should be able to say, well, I want 2D, and it should turn off all the things of the 3D, even in them when it should basically compile into the back end to it. Obviously, for this game, it doesn't matter. You know, if you had the 2, you say, well, I don't want any 2D stuff. It's in there. It recompiles the engine on its own just for 3D. And then that would be it. It would be smaller. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a bloatware. Yeah, that shouldn't be doing that. That's a shade. I think that's a shader problem. Because why would it? It looks as if the water's coming down, but it's not. Anyway. We just do this and keep going. As you can see, it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter where I'm going to put this. Although I'm not going to put it in I might put it at the start of the next video, and then if it crashes still, I don't know. know that that's going to be a thing. I have to file the report and file the error log and whatever else. There wasn't in the place where it should be, but not to worry. So we are doing what we're doing. Logs. I mean, I could stop them. I could stop them thinking the logs, and it would take the logs down. But we smashed a few out. There's a couple of 300 gone. Couple of 300. Yeah. Okay, pig. Sometimes you wouldn't think my would they call it native or natural language? I don't think it's natural. Native language is English. I even question myself sometimes. We're going to have to keep an eye on the gears, because I think we're going to use... Mind you, saying that, though, we've been doing 600 gears, and I've got rid of the gears anyway, so... But I'd rather get rid of them, and... we still haven't really used that much metal. Yeah, you can see it's doing a shader on it. It really shouldn't be doing that because it's technically not there. But we're just covering this the mine, what I call the dirty mine. And yeah, the zip right. If you can see, they're not really doing. They're certainly not going up there as much as they were, and they're just going to the zip when they need to, or they're coming down from the zip. So it's a hell of a lot faster than what it was, which is what I was trying to achieve, and them not, like, you know. I think a lot of the problem is they're not getting the logs though. I could build one of these for now. And it would... I can't do it underground because it's not on the ground. So you can't do that, you see. This is... Oh, this is... maybe this is different. Because that... I'm dead sure that wasn't there recently. Because you couldn't... It didn't do it. It just did the thing and it says, no, you can't do this because you haven't got anything under it, even though, you know... It's now dictating... I want logs. It's now dictating that it's a certain box size, not a, you know, not a like a flat. In other words, it's saying a bit like what we've got here. Anything from right the way down, you sort of can't get rid of. You can't do anything with. Right then, we're going through this quite nicely. I would have had a half and a half if it had been a 6. I would have liked, you know, but I can't do it because this is a 7. There's no way. I mean, you could do that and do one in the centre, but then one of them still would be shorter than the others because that's still, you know, do it this way. But I'm quite happy you can't see them anyway because you can't see them. It's under all this. So I'm thinking, well, that's not too bad. But I just think this is a this power thing. Like I said before, that this is just my idea. I just come up with it last time. I thought, I wonder if that would work. Sometimes I come up with these things when I'm doing other things. You know, doing other games or thinking, oh, what if that would work with the Timberborn, or will that work with the Whisker Wood, which we do play. If you have not heard of, Whisker Wood, it was compared to, or does get compared to Timberborn, but there's a lot more mechanics in that than there is in this, and it's quite a interesting game to say the least. I really enjoy it. Well, I did. Well, both of them. I very rarely get, you know, well, hopefully as I get better, and that's if you haven't, you know, you haven't subscribed, if you haven't liked or whatever, you know, or you're going to be a thing, you know, it's always, for small channels like myself, it's really important that we build ourselves up. And it'd be nice to have you as a subscriber, or at least a you know, a regular viewer, as I say, because they're both important. But then I'm going to produce what you want to watch, so you know, it's a thing. But then I need to know what you know. It gives me an idea when I watch and say, oh, well, I've had so many on that, so we do this. But it's going well. It's going well, and they'll be able to pick this up once they get this in. They'll be able to pick these up as well. It's too far. Are they complaining there's no storage again? Yeah, they're complaining there's no storage again. Have I filled this up? Oh no, that was logs, wasn't it? La 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 la. I'll do a... I mean, this is going to come down anyway. It's just annoying that I'm having to build a something here just to store something that I don't really want to store. But if it's going to get built there, then it be... I suppose... Yeah, I see. I've got all this filled up. I can't really do anything else. But we will get it though. That needs one of these again, and then that needs. No, let's not do that because I want to get all this first, and get them to pick all this up. I can force a bit more by building, obviously a bit more of these. It should be relatively, yes, it is. I did think it was that. It was right at the end. So now they'll build all this, and then they'll start on this section, which will use quite a lot of our planks, which then they'll be able to pick all this up. Because now there's only so many of these left now, so and I want them to come back to our. As you can see, this is it's full again. But we will get them all used up in a minute. They are going to be very important. That's just about being picked up. But it is working quite well. And it will be working quite well. There we go. Now I don't need to worry. This is the last one of this. That's it. And then that way I can just build it out now. They'll be able to walk on this section here like this, and just I don't know how far I'm going to build it out, but I've got so much of everything. It doesn't really matter. Because we've got like 400 and odd planks, and I've got a load of metal, so I'm not overly bothered about how much it's using. Gotta keep an eye on the logs though. Some of these do need logs, and I don't understand that one. I must admit, why it's a metal. It says it's a metal hangover, but it needs logs. Why? It's metal. Shouldn't it be all metal? Yeah. I think there was another question I had with myself with these as well. Because this has got the stem, but this doesn't need metal. And this does. Now, you could ask yourself, well, this down at the bottom is the metal part. And it does look it, I suppose, where this is just... But isn't that made of metal? It doesn't really matter, but it was just something I was questioning when I was like thinking about it. Clearly, I shouldn't be thinking about these things, but still, we'll start to use some of this here. I don't know how far I'm going, but I'm going to do to this. Probably, let's say to here, and then see how we go. I know I can do, you know, pull this out. Oh, that'll be a lot. Each one of them is 10. Oh, there's about 300 or 400, if not more in there. Look at this go. Absolutely gonna obliterate this planks now. So we've only got 2 days left and we gotta wait, but most of this will be gone within no time at all. They have to do this one first, but they can't get to the rest of them. The thing is, they can get to this section here and this here, but they need to then do, and it'll be going around like as if it's almost like that. But it'll do. Now I know what I could do is I could have done it a different way, and I suppose I could still do it a different way, to be honest. Thinking about it, if I think about it logically, instead of using all them planks, what I can do is use the metal and put a system like that over, because I don't need to go down with it, I just need to go across with it. It just, you know, so that would save some planks. Well, it's not just saving the planks, it's actually saving time as well. I couldn't do it with this because it's a bit small. Well, I suppose I could have done it with that. But the only thing is well, the thing is I suppose if we look at it logically, I could use this, the longest one I've got, like that, and then do the same here. It sort of makes sense, doesn't it? One, it's going to free up some planks. In other words, this is going to be a lot faster to build. I can't obviously do it on there because I'd have to build all that. I'd have to think, but I can certainly do it with here. And I'll just do this over. So if we carry on, which I should have just carried on. Well, I couldn't really. If I do this, it's, you know, it's going to cover all that within no time at all, and I won't need to build it because I need this. Oh, actually, no, I need this as a 2. That was the problem. This section here, I don't need that. That can stay, but this one will be a 2, like that. And then that would have the... That would have this on the top. Like so. Just like that. And then I'd have to work out. And then I could just work out where the next one was, which is probably here. And then that would build that. And then just add that another one into there. I know it's a bit how it works, actually. Because there's no obviously these, you've got the metal plates, and I could have put a metal plate in instead, like these instead, this great giant thing, like there and there, but you know, there's several different ways you could do this. Because you're not going to see it. It's going to be under the bottom. I'm only building this over so it doesn't, you know. I mean, that could have been the reason why it crashed. I don't know. It couldn't get to some. It couldn't shade or something like that. Anyway, I'm not too sure, but it was flipping annoying. Whatever it was. Do I? I think I'm gonna sort this. I'm gonna because I'm waiting for. Just let me take out this much, and let me take out this much. And I don't know where it needs to be, so that's why I'm taking out this. I could have moved them further up there, couldn't I, really? I thought it doesn't really make too difference, because they can... But I'm just doing it for... Let's make it a bit more aesthetically pleasing, seeing as they are both this side. They could be them both that side. Each one's got its own side. Then we'll have carrots, put that full. Then we'll have carrots, put that full. So that's given us another 6. I may have to have more beds. Although I have got a few free beds. But don't forget, we're going to lose them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. There and there. If that's not enough, then I might concentrate on putting one in this section, you know, this section as well. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of... That's a lot of farms for us, for a thing like this. But if it's not pulling up all this, if it's not pulling up everything, then it's... Mind you saying that, though, it doesn't matter anyway, because I can't get the carrots in. That's probably why it's not putting them in. Because I've got no storage for the damn things. Which I could fettle. Well, I do, actually. I have this that I'm not using. I don't think it takes carrots. Yes, it does take carrots. Okay, we'll shove that on carrots. We'll see how that goes. Doesn't really matter. This is perfectly still okay. It's not taken out. It's still got the... Oh no, it's coming back now anyway, so it's fine. It's going to take a few bits to get up to the thing for that to sort itself. We have got absolutely no planks left whatsoever. I had full planks and I had to build something, and then I completely and utterly destroyed them. I'll send this back to logs, or I'm going to send it to logs, because these are going to be the planks. And actually, they'll probably more likely want to take it straight in there, because obviously they're going to want to build all the rest of it. But we're waiting for this to come alive again, as we say. I don't want to put what I was doing before to show you, because I think it will crash again, and then that may I'm having to do the video 3 times, and that would frustrate me slightly. Not that I don't like it. I don't like to... I'm trying to then think what I did in that, so I don't, you know... and that's why I own up to it, because I didn't want you to think that, you know, I've done it on purpose and restarted because I'd done something wrong. I do enough gaffes if you look at some of the other ones. The Oasis playthrough, the experimental, has been a questionable one sometimes. So I'm just sat here smiling to myself because it's like when I said that I said questionable. It made me smile. Right, we are getting our power back again. So we should get this running pretty sharpish. And it'll... I can't see why it wouldn't actually... I mean, we've got all this here. I mean, look at the logs that are going to come in here. So it's not as if it has to go far for logs. The trouble is it has to go far to get rid of planks. But it's because this zip line, it should only take like a tenth of the time. Once I got this in, then I can use the metal. Now the metal is at 200 and something. I'm going to turn the metal on because we are going to need it, and I might as well. Although saying that though, I don't think I'll need much once I get this in, because obviously I'll do the expansion, the full expansion, and I'll either do a half expansion or I'll see how far this goes, and then do the second one wherever this, and then just do a smaller one, or I'll just leave it like that and then see where we want to move things in the next video, early on, before this crashes. They may fix it by the next one. I don't know what it was. I did have a look at the log, and I don't know whether it was complaining about a shader or something. In fact, the log actually, it's weird because the log actually told me where the other file was, where the where you know, one gave me an idea of where the crash, because it was supposed to be another. They must have moved it years ago. Because something on Steam said where it was, and then it wasn't there, and then another place said, "Oh no, it would probably be here," and it was. But obviously, this has been in development since 21, so it's, you know. I'm still wondering if they're going to do another one. Will we hear they're going to do another one? Because there's certain things I would have really liked, you know, in this, to be a bit more au natural. Anything that's, you know, I wanted to have something under it that did out water, like in here, and just kept going and going until it couldn't do any more. But you would connect it underground or something like that. You know, it'd be a lot easier to do the reservoirs than having to have a debacle that comes over the top just to fill up. You can go down with water like this. This is I'm going down. But going up with water is a huge pain. Right, that could go in. Oh, we've got this. So now I can do the... I'll do the longest ones, because that makes sense. And I've got, like... thingy did for days. Like I say, so... I'm going to need to work out where this one is. That going to be? Have I just done it too small? Yes, one typical one out the looked at the line but didn't get the line. Then we need to delete this one. It's a bit more problematic in this game sometimes when deleting some of that's vertical than it is to go over there. So it's about a couple of squares. So I could go over here and do another one. Like it makes, well, that's actually wrong. Again, it needs to be a 2, not a thing. But then that'll fit to that. It's going to save me filling all this in that doesn't need to be filled in. I mean, I could have done something for this as well. Like, done a done another one back there, but I'd still. The only thing I'm saving is the centre one, because of the way, obviously, the way that I need to do a stand like that, and this is all work. This wouldn't work, obviously, in reality anyway. But we're playing a game which has got beavers in that make things and got hats on. For Christ's sake, what more do you expect? Oh, that's a mod. I've only got 2 mods in this game. I only got the ladders and the hats because I quite like the hat because it tells me there is a builder, and that's about being I used to be when I was a kid, when I was 17 to 21, 20. It's a few 32 years ago. 20, not 17, and I used to be a joiner, which strangely enough has paid dividends for my establishment here. You never realised how much you want something if you like I said, until you get to the stage of owning your own place and think, oh, I need to fix that, and where me like, oh, well, I was a joiner, get my tools out, I'll put a new door on, or I'll change all the skirting, all the floorboarding, I'll do, you know what I mean, it doesn't cost me any money, Not everybody, this is the thing, not everybody wants to be a computer programmer, an artist, or thing. There is good money in building. It was weird, there never used to be. And, everybody wanted to be on computers and that thing, and now it's changing back to building because nobody wants to be a builder because it can be dirty, it can be this and that and the other, but you can earn some, if you're good, you can earn some serious money out of it. And you got a job for life if you're good. Which you can't really say that in the computer industry, the way this is going. I know. We've been made redundant and struggling to find anything. So, that's why we're doing this. That's the whole purpose is, but even now, if I got something, I'd want to do this because I just like the communication between yourselves and, doing this. I really enjoy it. And besides, you got to be a talker anyway, so I'm set for life with that. I can talk when the cows come home. I know that myself. The worst thing my mum said to me, she says, "Well, yeah, but as long as you don't answer yourself back." Oh no, I do that all the time, man. Oh well, you're mad, she says. Stark raving. I said, "Yep, you're right." I'd have been burnt at the stake. Been burnt at the stake in the 1400s talking to myself. I'd have been in the other farm with the other people. I don't want to say because it's not very nice. I think you know what I mean. Anyway. So I'd say these things to do this. I'm just because I'm trying to do all this. I'd say these things as if I'm actually talking to you over a beer, or we talk. We're having a meal together or something. Just to me, you're all ordinary people. I don't know your backgrounds, and you don't probably know mine. All I'm interested in, and yeah, we will be trying to get. I don't say closer. This sounds a bit weird, that doesn't it? But you know what I mean. Say we Discord, or we'll be doing other things. And as I get bigger, I want to try and do some live stuff and going down that route. I'm just hoping some companies and things will say, "Will you, would you play my game?" And I do get a few of the indie ones asking me, and I go, "Yeah, I'll try my best." And if it doesn't fit the channel, I'll say, "I'm sorry, I don't want to be funny, or I don't want to be disrespectful because I know how difficult it is to do a game and get it out there. It just doesn't really fit my channel. It won't go do that well on my channel because people are not, we do these sort of things, and that." And I could play Fortnite. I could play whatever some of the other ones. But I do like Battlefield. I used to play Battlefield quite a lot. But I tried to. Well, I did. I got it installed, and some UEF on my. I mean, it's a flipping new motherboard. It's not a, not an old one. Not a, you know. Normally, I would build them myself, but it'd been a while since I built one. You know what I mean? We're talking. What was it? 12 years. So I thought, ooh, it's been a while since I built one. I'll have a word with a. Well, it's not a local company, but I'll have a word with a company in England and say, look, I bought your parts for the last 10 years. I don't want the crap that you're selling. I told them straight. I said, look, I don't want the crap that you're selling because it's crap. I know what I want. Can you build me the machine that I want? I'll buy all the parts from you. And they go, yeah, fine. You tell us what you want, and we'll you grace us palms with money, and we'll build it. I said, fine. Because they're not losing out. They're making more money plus the parts anyway, so why would they care? But then you get what we want in life. And I was happy with that. They were happy with that. And so far, touch wood. Touch wood. Where's my head? Where's my head? It's gone okay. And we know the state of electronics at the moment. The bloody memory I got in there is worth more than, practically more than the machine, practically. Well, I wouldn't say that. She's a bit of a beast. And even with that, when you know, at the moment with the custom things of everything else and that, when you go to, the only advice I give people is to say, well, look, what sort of money have you got? What you want to do with it? Well, I want to play games. Fine, that's going to cost you. If you're going to be serious about playing games, if you want to play, Minecraft or whatever, you don't need a massively passive, machine for it. But if you're wanting to play some of the latest stuff, or you want to play other things, you're going to have to spend some money. And even now, it's even worse at this precise moment with the AI stuff. Flipping AI. But you've got to be realistic that a decent PC is going to cost you, some cash. We're getting there, and we are almost at our edge of the video, and I was a bit worried. That's why I didn't. I know what I want to do here, but I daren't do it because if it crashes, I'll be absolutely keyed. But you can get the idea of the power grid. Is we can put these things anywhere, and because it's powered, and they can walk on this, it should be fine. We will be doing it next. What I'll do is I'll do that the first thing of the next video, and I want to get it about this big. It doesn't have to be, it has to be over here. So I've got a big enough area. I may even fill that area in, to be quite frank. Just to fill it out. I think I can get. I'd have to do. Yes, I could get another one because I'd have to build another one here. So you can see this. This would be over one. Yes, I could get that line filled out. Well, most of that line. This wouldn't be because obviously I can't fill over that. It's not going to allow me to do. Although I could do a smaller one to there. So that might be okay as well. But now I can actually fill this out now. Just by doing this. And just keep going inwards and inwards. So we are getting there. And then we'll start moving some of this, which it needs to be moved before we can start to sort this out. I don't even think I need this resin. I've got practically full resin. I could get rid of these as well. I'm going to have to lumberjack put them. I might as well get rid of them because I'm not going to need them anymore. So we'll get the lumberjack. We'll set that up now to take these out. And that cleans this out. The only problem is we've got these logs. And there's a lot of logs in there. I don't know where I'm going to put them. In fact, actually, what I might do... I mean, you can do a dirty way of doing it by just... I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to pause this. This, I think, we'll be cutting these down. So I'm going to pause this. That's maple. That's horse chestnut. Prioritize, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to do it. It says prioritize. That's grilled chestnuts. I think I've got everything for days. Anyway, I hope you enjoy that. I hope you don't mind me doing a bit of conversation here and there. Some people do, some people don't, and if you don't, I apologise. But we just, you know, when you're trying to wait for something, you've got to fill the time, and you can only go so far with what you're trying to build until something else is done. So anyway, we will see you in the next one where we get closer to finishing. I reckon up to 60 maybe. You know, it depends on how far I want to push it and just finish off what I want to finish off. Because I want this down here to look really nice. And that'll be the end of it. And then, you know, if you want to use these things, use them. If you don't want to use them, don't use them. Or you've never played the game and you hope you enjoy it. Anyway, take care. We will see you in the next one. Bye for now.